Okay, so there's another trade target that's now starting to be talked about, and I'm talking about Yankees trade target. And it was somebody I didn't think would be available, but it's sounding like we're hearing things from Ken Rosenthal and some other folks that he might be available, and that's Carlos Rodon, left-handed starting pitcher. He signed the 2-year, I think it's $32 million deal or something like that with the, or maybe $40 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. But there's some creative components to his contract. He has an opt-out that triggers automatically if he surpasses 110 innings. He's at like 90 now, so that's very likely to be triggered, right? So he'll be again a free agent at the end of the season. Now, we also know that he's had durability concerns, and he hasn't gone, I think, above 130 healthy. So that's another concern too. The Yankees want to acquire somebody like this and have him become a problem that we're having already. Right? And Luis Severino's going to have an innings limitation. Right, so is Nestor Cortes at some point. And again, this guy to me is he starts to break down and get injured when his innings get higher. Now it's different than somebody like Nestor Cortes, who just becomes less effective. And there was some regression expected with the Yankee starters. I mean, the fact is, Gerrit Cole is the only guy who consistently throws 180, 200 innings plus every season. There's nobody else on the rotation that touches that number. Nobody. So I hope we weren't expecting everybody to just stay healthy and just be dominant for the rest of the year. And it's something I've said repeatedly, that the need to bring in another starting pitcher with this is absolutely critical because of these particular things. Now, Carlos Rodon, he's 8-5 with a 2.70 ERA right now. He's got about 3.5 WAR too, or 3.2 WAR, excuse me. So he's high level, he's elite, he's productive. But that said, how much gas does he have left the rest of this season is the question. And and again, with his opt-out being triggered, is it worth it to give what is being what's being discussed as a requisite package to get him? And I saw some packages today that Luis Medina and Everson Pereira. Now, a future Yankee All-Star, top All-Star, top outfield prospect, and one of the top pitching prospects for 2 months of Carlos Rodon, potentially declining innings. No, thank you. I mean, if I'm going to acquire this guy, I need that opt-out to go bye-bye, and for him to be here for next year in 2023. It's only going to give that much. But I understand, the Yankees are potentially going into a World Series run. But the fact is, too, any move that they have to make, and they have to make a couple moves, they should be making sooner than later. Not waiting to the deadline. Again, take advantage, especially with the brutal stretch they have coming up. Not only do they have the Reds, which will be probably the easiest part of the stretch, then they have the Red Sox, they have the Astros, they have the Mets, they have the Orioles, who are all of a sudden are red hot. Yeah, red hot. And the Giants are only, I think they're 2 games over 500, but competing in the NL West is not an easy task. I don't see them competing. This is not a magical season that they've had last year. And I like the addition of Carlos Rodon. I would like it in the Yankees too, but again, is it worth it, what the package might cost? And do you wait for the opt-out to be triggered so it could justify a smaller package? I don't know. But then the fact is, you're trying to win a World Series. Do you need to make a payment like that? Do you need to pay that much for somebody is the question. Or do you pass on him and just go hard for Luis Castillo, which is, I think, me a better idea. Rodon's still young, so is Castillo. And I'm personally going to pass on Rodon with that package. And there's just too many little things linked into his contract, particularly to opt out that triggers after 20 more innings. And we don't really know what they're going to get after him. But you let me know what you think. I found this interesting. I like front end of the season Carlos Rodon better than I do late in the season Carlos Rodon, and I've liked that for several years. But again, when he's on, he's elite, and he's showing that right now. So if the Giants somehow make him available, there will be a line for him. There will be a line for him. But it doesn't make sense to go after a Castillo or somebody else, or a Merrill Kelly or somebody like that from the Diamondbacks to add just reliable rotation depth. So let's get into this one. I think that the talk about Carlos Rodon is going to heat up. And again, I'm seeing it with Ken Rosenthal and some other folks as well now. So don't be surprised if it really starts to heat up over the next 3 weeks as we approach the trade deadline. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you haven't done so yet, so that you don't miss all kinds of news, breaking news, especially as it gets close to the deadline, particularly when it comes to the Yankees. I don't want you to miss any good stuff because I put out everything. But that's the talk right now. I'm hearing speculation about Carlos Rodon and the Yankees. So I'll keep you posted. Talk to you next time.